to Throwtown, Ramona, for another session of amazing competition. I'm still shaking from the recently concluded women's hammer, where Rachel Richardson threw 78. What was it? 78.
7880.
Where is she at an all-time list now?
Number 5, Dan.
Oh my God! This broadcast is presented by ThrowRx and Throws Pro. Also brought to you by the good people at Throws University, which I guess you know that if you're watching it on their YouTube page. But holy cow, an incredible women's shot put competition. We're about to start with the men, 2 different sections of men. Each will get 3 throws, and then for each section, I believe, it's 3 throws, and then the top 8 to 6 throws.
Yeah, so we're going to see 9 throwers here in Group 1. Jake Stafford, Isaiah Schaefer, Michael Pickney, Chris Emig, Jake Lubert, Cade McCall, Avery Carter, Texas Tanner, Isaiah Rogers. The top 8 are going to get 6 throws today, and here we go.
We are getting started. Oh, hey, another sponsor. Shout out to Roadie Sport. We'll talk about the Roadie Sport hammer glove in just a minute. Actually, let's do right now. What do you know about that Roadie Sport hammer glove? The claw, is that right?
Justin Rohde, a former Canadian Olympic athlete in the shot put, makes shot put gloves for hand protection, wrist straps, and also the Eagle and Phoenix hammer gloves. If you haven't checked out Roadie Sport, go to roadiesport.com and check out all the stuff they have to offer throwers.
Wait, it's the Eagle, not the claw?
Well, it is the Eagle Claw.
There we go. That's a powerful combination. So yeah, we just witnessed, an amazing hammer competition. We were talking to Rachel Richardson before the comp. She came in with a PB of 74, I want to say right around 74.80. And we talked about just, developing some consistency this year. Getting the confidence to throw 71, 72 meters no matter the conditions, no matter what's going on, 72 meters. And then she knocks out a 4-meter PB. So
That's unreal.
really exciting. And I'm pretty sure the wind had nothing to do with that, Coach.
No, this is not a hammer wind. We'll have discus wind tomorrow. It was not a javelin wind.
No, indeed not.
Rarely helps our hammer throwers, although a little tailwind might give us a little push. Maybe we should ask Christoph Kipp how much the wind, how powerful the wind would have to be to help a hammer.
Yeah, that's a good question. And speaking of Christoph, so he's our biomechanics guy. He's out there with his crew working hard. They've got 6 cameras set up. They're taking data.
All sorts of data capture that came out of last year's meet with Mikolas Alekna's world record throw and all the throwers, and they are here doing the data analysis on all those throwers, and it takes them some time to process the information that they pull out of it, but velocity and release angle and timing between right foot touchdown, left foot touchdown, all sorts of great things, and I can't wait to see what his team comes up with in terms of information regarding different throws. You already got some data from Christoph about Rachel's big throw.
Yeah, he said her 78-meter throw was left her hand at 28 meters per second at 41 degrees. All previous throws had slightly steeper angles up to 45 degrees and were slower by 1 to 2 meters a second. So release angle and speed, she nailed it. And the men are starting here. We just have a little delay, it seems, typically, to get the live results to go live.
We'll have them for you.
Someone needs to maybe do the shock thing like with Frankenstein. Oh, wait, here we go. I think we're up.
Yeah, we're up and running.
There we
Michael
go.
Pickney out at 64-23 in his first round. Isaiah's throw was a foul as well as Jake's.
There's a lot of UCLA dudes in this competition. That's Chris Emig, I want to say. Yeah, that's UCLA thrower Chris Emig, 23 years old. He's a senior. He's the first UCLA Bruin ever to break 70 meters.
That's crazy because, as I talked about in the last broadcast, the UCLA top 10 list in men's and women's shot put and discus is one of the most impressive NCAA top 10 lists in the entire country. But their hammer throwers, there's a little room for wiggle, and they're working on wiggling their way up that hammer list.
And that's the guy right there, the UCLA record holder. Talking to his coach, Sean Denard, who's from Naperville, where I live. Sean got started coaching at North Central College, a Division III track and field powerhouse. Fantastic school. Then he moved on to Grand Valley, Cal State Northridge, And now UCLA's been there for about 5 years, I want to say.
68.58 for Chris.
That's a nice
Good
opener.
start, yeah. Jake Lubert is next. Looked like he slowed down at the finish there.
Jake, a former Missouri S&T minor.
I like mascots. UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs is my favorite mascot in the country, though.
Why doesn't anyone have a hippo for a mascot? I'd buy that gear.
You could start your own university, Dan. What do you think?
Maybe we can get Houston to change. The Houston Hippos.
Interesting.
I'll work on it. You know, we were talking marketing earlier with Frederick Dakers. I think I got the bug. I think I've got the marketing bug now. I'm thinking of ideas. I'm full of ideas about how to popularize this sport.
Jamaican discus thrower Frederick Dakers. He's got a lot of really interesting thoughts, and he's a smart kid, man. Not only is he an incredible discus thrower, but I think if he would like to continue to make an imprint on the sport when he's done throwing the discus, he's got some interesting ideas about how we could market the sport and how throwers could market themselves. I would, if I'm a thrower, I might be looking for Frederick when I need help with marketing myself.
Yeah. And, you know, one thing he emphasized was throwers letting their personality out. I think we're seeing that this weekend. We saw some in the men's discus yesterday. Mika Sosna, Maddie Denny, and others. We saw Rachel's personality bloom today when she threw 78 meters. So, throwers, if you're out there, don't be afraid to show your personality. That's Cade McCall.
I think he likes it.
Formerly of Kansas State, 72.66. That's a personal best, folks. His old PB, 71.87.
That's huge.
So he blasts a PB on his first attempt. But what's going on, Coach? Is it magic in the air? Is it Throwtown magic?
Well, a lot of these guys have been standing around watching the women while they wait their turn, and Rachel might have infused some electricity into the crowd, and maybe that's going to carry over for us here.
Maybe they just are, they just realize they don't want to be shown up.
They got a lot of work to do to look as good as Rachel.
Avery Carter in there. He has a personal best of 72.65 from 2024. We'll see what he opened at in just a minute. On this beautiful day. The weather out there is gorgeous, folks. It is a little windy, but it's feels good. Combined with that sun, they kind of balance each other out, like you and me. Perfect balance. Peanut butter, jelly.
Are you the peanut butter or are you the jelly?
I'll be the peanut butter.
All right. I can handle it.
I'd like to be crunchy peanut butter, though, if that's all the same.
I'm all in on crunchy peanut butter. This is a no-no in my house, so I rarely get it.
64.96 for Avery Carter. I want to say that's Texas Tanner in the ring.
Yeah, he's coming up next.
From the Air Force Academy. Great guy. We had a really nice conversation with him yesterday. It's a kind of a family tradition to go to the Air Force Academy. His hammered PB, 72.36. That's pretty solid, Coach.
It's real solid.
From last year.
He's a solid kid. Moves well, strong.
Disc PB, 59.59. It's interesting. We talked to him about, how to balance the training that they are put through at an academy. And he said, the academy makes allowances, so he's able to practice, all afternoon, kind of a typical college guy schedule.
Kyle Lilly, his coach, 67-16 for Texas as we get near the end of round one here. Isaiah Rogers from Throw One Deep will round out round one.
That was Jake Stafford with a foul. Jake very good-naturedly threw the javelin this morning.
He was a tribute. It was nice of him to throw the jab.
Really nice. He and his teammate Derek Smith, so that they had enough competitors in the javelin for it to be an accepted sanctioned competition.
And as two discus throwers and a hammer thrower throwing the javelin, I think they had a burrito bet, and unfortunately, Jake came up short. He's going to owe Mr. Smith a burrito.
Something. Yeah. He's actually taking it very well. I just spoke to him a few minutes ago, and he was all right.
He's got a mustache. What's going to stop him?
Is that a mustache? I thought he maybe sneezed in an ashtray or something. No, he's a handsome dude. That's just jealousy.
It is.
I'm trying to remember a day when I was that young and thin and handsome, and I'm really struggling to remember that day. 57-10 for Jake. Now we're getting Isaiah Schaefer from Minnesota. Isaiah known more as a shot putter than a hammer thrower. Yeah, yep. Isaiah's about 6'2", 300, according to his coach, Peter Miller, who's right there in that really cool bucket hat. He was a transfer from Davenport University. He's only a 55-foot shot putter in high school. I mean, I say only because in college he's gone 1989.
That's awesome.
His hammer PB 63.57. So the shot put is his baby. That was Michael Pinckney there from UCLA, part of this UCLA squad that's filling out this first flight. Michael, only 20 years old. When you look at that guy, do you think he's like a 20-year-old?
I'm just thinking, what did he look at 14? He looked like a playground supervisor, right?
Right. He's from Queens, New York. I lived in Queens for a few years in the 80s. But apparently there must be something in the water now that there wasn't then, because I never looked like that. Smart dude, he's studying civil engineering. He wants to do urban and regional planning.
That's cool.
Like you, he enjoys swimming and biking.
And long walks on the beach.
And long walks on the beach. Back to Chris Emig, the UCLA record holder in the hammer.
Open with 68.58. Does not look like he liked that one.
What do you think happened to the turtle that was walking around out there during the?
Do we come up with a name? Did we name him?
I think we got to name him.
Denny.
A compliment? Not sure. It was a snapping turtle, clearly.
Maddie Denny snapped on the discus competition last night, and I know some of you were probably looking for the live stream yesterday, and because of a power outage here in Throwtown, Ramona, we were not able to give you that. And there were some massive discus throws. We talked about them earlier in previous broadcasts. But we're going to get to see the women's disc athletes compete again tomorrow, Saturday at noon. And again, the men will compete Sunday at noon. And so we're hoping that you'll tune into all of these live streams brought to you by Throws University. Again, we are at the World Invitational in Throwtown, Ramona, brought to you by Throws Pro and Thrower X.
I think bombs will ensue this weekend, the rest of this weekend, Coach. The fuse has been lit.
67-18 for Chris.
This is our guy Jake Lubert, the former Missouri S&T minor. Something tells me he did not major in literature or philosophy there.
Tricky.
A school with the mascot, the Miners.
A lot of engineering students, I believe. 55-34 in round one. He's looking to improve. He sits in 7th place currently.
He's PB 6503 from 2024, so yeah, he's not going to be too happy with that. Boy, it's a beautiful day out there, Coach.
Yeah, crosswind, the temperature's low 70s. It is a delightful day here. And hopefully these guys can channel their innermost Rachel Richardson, and they can channel their innermost Maddie Denny. There was a lot of electricity in the air the last 2 days, and it's been fun to watch so far.
Unbelievable. Alita Von Dalen brought some to the shot, the late night discus competition.
58-94 for Lubert in round 2. Cade McCall now.
Cade opened with a PB, 72.66. And he follows that up with a foul.
He continues to lead. Avery Carter is going to be in the circle next.
Not sure who Cade is representing in that plain green T-shirt, but he looks sharp.
23-year-old competing unattached. Currently, send him some sponsorship money, somebody.
He's a smart guy. He was all Big 12 academic 2024.
Avery Carter chased that one out there with a little bit of a yell at the end. I'm wondering if he likes it.
Avery opened at 64.96, but he didn't like that one too much. Avery's PB 7265 from 2024. Coach, have you ever measured a hammer competition? Have
Yes.
you been to Stickman? What is
I
it
haven't.
like when those hammers are coming down at you?
Well, I'll tell you, what you don't want to be at a hammer competition is a hammer shagger
Okay.
after a wet on a wet hammer field. You got to pull those things out of the ground.
Deadlift, like a
It
max deadlift.
It is. You'll get your hamstring workout in, pulling those things, and the sound it makes coming out of the mud is pretty sweet.
Okay, all right. 64.98 for Avery. 2 centimeter improvement.
How many family members did you say Texas Tanner had go to the Air Force
Aunts,
Academy before he did?
uncle, dad, cousin. So we're talking at least 4. His dad played football there at Air Force.
What a cool tradition.
Yeah. He's planning on continuing to throw when he graduates also, either as part of the WCAP program, which Reggie Yeagers is in,
Yep.
or he was explaining there's a way to do that, to combine that just with your regular military assignment.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But he is determined to keep throwing, and who could blame him? With a 72-36.
Much smaller contingent of Americans do that, but that's more or less how German Federation, many federations, you're part of the military or police force,
Yeah.
and they have professional athletes that are supported by those.
Texas just launched a PB, by the way. 72-45.
Fantastic. He
Nicely
moves up into
done.
second.
Something's going on out there, Coach.
I
don't know if
like
it was
it.
the lucky turtle.
I like it.
I think we just saw Jake Stafford again back in the ring, going 57-70. That's actually a nice throw for him. That's a PB for Jake Stafford. So his brother, Justin, you may remember, got 3rd place at the Olympic trials last year. And I was just talking to Sean Denard, the coach there, and he said that even though Jake hasn't put up big hammer numbers, he's ahead of his brother's pace at the same age.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I think about college athletes looking at year over year. Where was I at this meet last April when you get into your 2nd year or 3rd year? But if you have an older sibling cutting ground, you kind of figure out.
There's the older
where you
brother right
stand.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my mistake, not a PB. He came in with a PB 59-48, so he's close. Good opener.
It's a lot to live up to, though, when your older brother is throwing the hammer incredibly far now, and is
He's got a lot
post-collegiate
going
athlete.
on in his life. He gets beat by his teammate who never throws the jab. He gets beat in the jab. He's got his brother.
Older brother reminding him he's got work to do.
Yes. I guess that keeps a guy humble. Another foul for Isaiah Schaefer. So that's going to be it for him. I think he's done with the hammer for the day. But again, he's a shot put guy, so he'll probably be looking forward to that.
Yeah, he's going to compete in the shot put tomorrow before the women's disc.
Now we're back to Michael Pinckney. This guy has a weight PB 2205, hammer PB 6412. Oh wait, sorry. I see 6423.
Yeah, round 1.
Yeah. So that might be a new PB if my record keeping is not awry. Really smart dude. Again, he's going to go into urban and regional planning. Wants to build bridges and such. He was the USA Under-20 champ in 2023 with a 6K hammer, Coach.
60-78 for Michael. Not an improvement, but he's going to get 3 more throws.
He's an impressive-looking man.
So the way Caleb Seal here has devised this, this group is its own competition. So we're going to see these guys get their own 6 throws for finals. And then when we move on to Group 2, it's almost like starting a whole nother meet. Those guys are going to compete, and the top 8 guys will get 6 throws in that group as well.
Big yell for Chris
likes that
Emig.
one. Telling that one to get further out there, baby.
His PB 7103. His best so far today, 68.58. He was 16th in the NCAA last year. He's looking to move up in those ranks substantially. UCLA yellow and blue looks nice in that sun, doesn't it?
In LA, they're not used to our Midwestern temperatures and sun levels. 68-61.
Good. That's a nice little improvement. That'll get him 3 more.
Yeah, he sits in third place right now in this group.
Keep moving up.
Jake Lubert.
Jake was a 1576 shot putter in college. Again, 65.03 in the hammer last year as a personal best. He did not like the looks of that one. All right, I got a question for you, Coach. If they're going 8 deep, is Isaiah going to continue with 3 fouls?
I believe because it's a world meet, you have to have a mark.
Okay.
But we will find out for sure whether he throws in round 4 or not.
The absolute sign will be whether or not he walks into the ring. Cade back up. Cade having a good day. 72-66 opener. I know that's only one throw, but I think that qualifies as a good day.
Yeah, it's a great throw.
Do you think that guy's carrying that stick with the spike in case that snapping turtle comes back?
I hope he's just measuring.
It could come in handy though. If those of you who are not watching the women's hammer live feed, wow, that thing was.
It was a great competition, and the turtle survived.
And he was ferocious looking. Like I wasn't when the dog was wandering around last night. I didn't think that dog was going to kill me, but I was glad I was in this shed when that turtle was was rolling around. 67.85 for Cade, so no improvement there.
Two more throws before we move to the finals. Avery Carter next. He's at 64.98, looking to improve. He's got a PB of 71.57. Don't think he was a fan of that throw.
Folks, if you're looking to come out here and enjoy some amazing throwing, we're good, 20 minutes outside of downtown Tulsa, 25 minutes. Things are kind of spread out around here. But not hard to get. If you can get to Tulsa, you can get here pretty easily.
Absolutely.
You want to see a world record maybe on Sunday.
So far, it's been worth anyone who's made the trip. And
man.
I'm thinking that there should be some more people here as the weekend allows some more flexibility in people's schedules. But the crowd's been great so far. Super supportive of all these throwers, and a lot of people know what each other's PBs are. Hunting down national records in the discus yesterday, and there was a real camaraderie in the throws. It's been really fun to watch.
Yeah, the atmosphere's just been delightful. And we're only not even 2/4, also known as halfway, through this competition. Back to Texas Tanner. Oh, he looked like he
saved
lost
that one?
balance.
We're gonna measure that one.
I did want to get a measurement on that one. His season's best this year, 68.09, coming in to beautiful Throwtown. He obliterated that with 72.45 in round 2.
So once we get Texas's mark here, we're gonna do some reordering. It'll probably take a minute or so. And then we will get into this finals of Group A.
We're rolling today, Coach.
Yeah, anyone who was trying to watch the live stream yesterday, I want you to think about how difficult it is to pull off an event like this. You got a lot of moving parts. You've got officials. You've got to verify distances so that they count for. This is a bronze level World Athletics meet. There's just so many moving parts, and obviously the live stream. And then we had a power outage, and so today seems like it has been smooth sailing. I want to knock on wood so we don't ruin anything, but anybody who was watching yesterday, thanks for your patience. But think about the athletes, too. They had long waits and some unscheduled changes, and that's really important. While we're waiting for the finals to start, we want to run through our sponsors again. The World Invitational is brought to you by Throws Pro and Thrower X. Throws Pro equipment you need to throw far. Scott Kapos is here, the owner of Throws Pro. He's got implements from all the best manufacturers in the world, including Wallshot, Nordic, Nemec, Gill, Fiber Sport, Polonic. If you're looking for implements, go to Throws Pro. Thrower X, online resources for throwers and coaches who want to get better. Brought to you by my good friends Ryan Whiting and Scott Kapos and myself, Joe Frontier. Education for coaches, education for throwers. We've got tons of great resources online. You can go to the Thrower X website and join the Insider for free. I also want to thank Roadie Sport. I also want to say thanks to Visit Tulsa for sponsoring this event. Visit Tulsa. It has been good to us so far as we've this is your second visit here. It's my first visit here.
Great throws, large turtles. What's not to like?
Roadie Sport. Go check out everything that Justin Roadie has to offer. Roadie Sport, R-O-D-H-E, Roadie Sport, and wrist straps, shot put gloves, and hammer gloves, and also to Fiber Sport. Bruce Caldwell is here this weekend, and Fiber Sport. Check out the Fiber Sport line of discuses. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, also a shout out to our crew, the folks that are making this broadcast possible. Domingo, Will, Aiden, Sheldon, Andrew Saylor, and Jason Kuhn, the two guys that had to endure the technical difficulties yesterday. Somehow they made it through, came back today, and they're responsible for this beautiful broadcast. So thanks to those guys. They're just in the first half of a long weekend, but they're doing it for you. They're doing it for the Throws fans out there.
Yeah, and Dane Miller at Throws University. Dane, I've known Dane for a really long time, and the idea of there's some of our crew.
Woo-woo!
Thanks to those guys.
Woo-woo!
Yeah, absolutely. Oh no, not us. We got a face for broadcasting behind cameras, not in front of them. Thanks, guys. I do want to give a shout out to Dane Miller, who does such a great job at Throws University. He's got several pro athletes, but it's great to collaborate and see these, all these passionate lovers of the throwing world come together and try to contribute to pull off a meet like this and support what Caleb Seal and Don Milliken have created here in Tulsa. So thanks to everybody.
I think we both look pretty sexy in this Thrower X gear.
Sexy might be an overstatement, but that's okay. We're going to roll with it.
Delicious? I don't know. What would you say? We're close to the resumption of this shot put flight. Go ahead.
Scott Kapos is here, owner of Throws Pro and my partner at Thrower X. Scott Kapos, what do you think of the proceedings so far, buddy?
I've seen some big throws. It's pretty awesome to watch, and very excited to be a part of this at Throws Town Ramona. Caleb's done a great job, and Don Milken does a great job, and Throws University's done an amazing job of putting everything together, and just excited to be part of the process here.
Scott spent a long time coaching in the Big Ten. He is a former professional shot putter and representing Canada back in the day, and now has devoted himself to throwers education and bringing great implements to the throws community. Scott, you've got a son throwing. He was doing some training today. What's it like for young throwers to have an opportunity like this? I know it's one of the things you wanted to get involved with as you became kind of a businessman post-coaching, to give young throwers opportunities to come throw at meets that had meaning.
Yeah, it is really great, and I think there's some people, maybe if you're listening to this, you're probably one of those throws fanatics, and Joe Frontier here is probably one of the biggest throws fanatics, along with Dan McQuaid that I know. It's probably equal to my son's passion for the throws. He's the one that texts me and messages me when big throws are happening over the weekend. Sometimes I might be doing something my family feels important, like cleaning the house, but it's not to him. He wants me to be updated on all those results. So I'm really excited to kind of keep bringing that passion to the throws community, and it's exciting to just be a part of that. And I think events like this just help the community grow. And we're here 100% to support the throws community itself, and that's what we want to do. And all the people that are involved in this are here to support the throws community.
Back when you were a pro thrower, meets like this were hard to come by. It's pretty exciting to see a throws-only event in the United States with prize money, and here we are live streaming just throwing events, something that doesn't get a lot of publicity. That's a fantastic thing. That really wasn't a part of what you were involved in when you were throwing as a pro.
No, just to give you an idea of like how I got coached, we would send VHS tapes to our coach, and then 2 weeks later, he would give me a phone call that cost about $100 for long distance, and that's how we talked about throwing for like half an hour, And that was how I got coaching when I was on my own. A little different world now, but it's great that throwers have access to this type of format, not only as athletes but as fans of the sport, to see these amazing results basically as they happen. You know, like watching the hammer and watching Rachel throw 78 meters, that was amazing. The throws yesterday in the discus, amazing. And I think it's just gonna keep building this weekend.
Thank you to Scott Kapos, owner of Throws Pro and partner at Thrower X with Joe Frontier and Ryan Whiting. But like Scott said, I do want to shine a spotlight on what Caleb and Don Milliken have created here, because this is a platform for throwers to come and compete. It's a bronze level world athletics meet. They get to compete for points in terms of athletic world ranking and prize money as well. And so it's fun to see the throwing world come together, and I think this event is pretty special, and I think it's only going to grow. So thanks to everybody making this weekend possible.
And Coach, it turns out we are actually going to take a break here. So we were under the impression that each flight would have its own chance to go full 6 throws, but they're actually going to take the top 8 after the 2 flights, so more like a normal scenario. So we're going to take a break while the flight 2 gets a chance to warm up, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
What's up, everybody? Joe Frontier here with Rachel Richardson, our World Invitational Hammer Champion. Rachel, you've had, I don't know, an hour to kind of process what just happened. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. Yeah, I mean, couldn't have asked for a better season opener or just meet in general. Yeah, it's feeling good.
So you enter the meet with 74.82 and 78.80. I'm just going to say that again. Actually, I'm going to let you say 78.80. Go ahead, try it. Try it on for size.
78.80.
How does it? It's got a really nice ring to it. This is the number 3 throw in U.S. history, the number 5 throw in world history. What an incredible performance. Did you have expectations? Were you feeling good coming into this meet? And what came together that allowed this to happen today?
So, I mean, coming in today, I was feeling pretty good. I mean, training's been going really well. Knew if I was kind of on my stuff that there was going to be a PR today. Yeah, I mean, and even prelims weren't going too hot, but, got into the final, kind of, figured out what I was doing a little more, and yeah, the 5th round just lined it up right down the middle, felt good, felt connected, felt like, kind of what I've been doing in training, and came off the hands and knew it was far. Didn't know how far.
We saw the reaction and the sensation of I knew that felt good is something that we could just see on screen. As you're waiting for that number to come up, you don't know how far, but did you feel like it was a PB?
I did. I was thinking probably like 75, 76-ish. Yeah, so when the number came up, I was, obviously pretty surprised. You can see from the reaction. Not even surprised in the sense that, that's too far beyond what my training numbers have been.
Yeah.
But just for that to be, my opener and after kind of a spotty sort of prelims and everything like that, so.
Dan McQuaid and I were talking on the live stream about how hard it is to be 4th at Olympic trials.
Say that again.
And we've talked to so many athletes. Yeah, it's probably the hardest place to be in, either at the trials, but 4th place at the Olympics, 4th place at the World Championships. What does a throw like this do in terms of putting to rest last season, and now you've opened with this big mark, and how do you look at it as you move forward?
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of reflective of all the training we've done since then. So, 4th place at trials. It's not really one of those things where oh, that happened, now I'm going to work so much harder. I'd already been working really hard, and that's why that was such a bummer.
You took the cap to a deep field.
And so I think we really just it really pointed out what it was I needed to dial in my throw and in my training, which was to just be able to have a good pocket throw I can pull out at any time. And so that was what my 72 in prelims was. First 2 throws were kind of not great, but okay, kind of dial in a little bit. I can pull out that throw whenever I need to, and that's also then a throw that I can build on, as we saw in finals, for a good basis for for farther throws to come from.
You mentioned your training marks coming in and your kind of training cues in your head. When you come to a meet, do you have kind of have you narrowed it down to one, this is my cue, I'm going to stay on it? Or when things go awry in the first few rounds, you have to change?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I have a kind of a general sense of what I need to do. I also, having, been at it long enough that I kind of know what my tendencies are in a meet. And again, that's kind of what happened, first couple rounds, I really tightened up and, took some energy off of entry, which pretty quickly I was like, okay, I can see that I can feel that I'm doing that, I'm not getting through the throws well, I need to tap into it a little more. And so, yeah, I think over time I've just kind of, known what my tendencies are and known kind of what I need to do to fix them. And then there's always going to be some kind of wild card of, today I was a few of my finishes were just really off, and not something I normally do. So then there are also some kind of wild card things that you just have to be ready to adjust to and, fix kind of on the fly.
Did you have a chance to talk to Coach Kruger?
I did. Oh my goodness. So by the time I got to my phone after the comp, I already had like 4 missed FaceTime calls, and it was really sweet because he and all of the throwers at Ashland were posted up in a conference room and had been watching it on the TV in there. And I picked up the phone, I just lost it. Like I had already been like crying a little bit, but that just like, where I train, like AG and the throwers there, it's all so supportive. It's such like an incredible environment, and yeah, just to like see that visually of like all of them behind me and being so excited for me, it means everything.
What's the next competition for you, Rachel?
Next competition. So the plan was UVA next weekend, because Ashland is going, so I was gonna, have a chance to have AG there. I think we'll probably talk about it after.
You might have earned a weekend off.
We'll see. I mean, I would like to go. It's always, I rarely get to have AG there because he's always, helping our throwers at Ashland, be there with them and help get them ready to go. So I would still like to have a meet with him there. We'll see, TBD. But then after that, definitely Drake.
Fantastic.
So
Congratulations on a huge performance,
you.
and best of luck as you move forward.
thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Throwtown in Ramona, Oklahoma. We are having another hellacious day. Rachel Richardson, 4-meter PB a couple hours ago, 78.80
7880, the fifth best women's hammer throw in world history.
in history. There it is, right there, folks, in writing.
And we are knee deep in the second flight of men's hammer, which is about to kick off. We've got a great group of throwers. You're going to hear a lot of these names, and you'll know a lot of these names if you're hammer fans. Currently in the lead, Cade McCall, 72.66, and Texas Tanner is right behind him at 72.45. So these gentlemen are looking to surpass 72 meters to make the final. Cade McCall and Texas Tanner are watching and waiting to see if they can get into this final. The top 8 will move on. In this field, my good friend Jordan Geist, Johnny Jackson, Angelos, how are you going to pronounce that, Mr. McQuaid?
I'll get back to you on that in just one second.
Montserranes, Tanner Berg, Tyler Williams, Justin Stafford, Costas Zaltos, Alex Young, and Daniel Hall. We've got Olympians, we've got top level.
We got some
hammer
heavy
throwers,
hitters.
and this is going to be an exciting competition. There's Kara Winger on the call out there, and Jordan Geist is going to open us up. Here we go.
He's stepping in. So this is the first competition throw.
It is.
Okay, outstanding. Jordan Geist looking healthy and strong.
You won't miss Jordan as he is wearing his Ironwood jersey today. We'll see Jordan more in the shot put tomorrow. Jordan was 4th at his first meet of the year in the U.S. indoor shot put. But if you'll remember last year, he had an incredible hammer season, going out over 76 meters, I believe.
Yes, at the trials. He had a huge day at the trials. Had a really interesting conversation with Jordan about balancing the hammer and the shot put. He's world class in both. Straight up world class in both. What did he open up with there?
75-33. He's going to be happy with that as an opener.
Holy cow, outstanding.
So Jordan jumps into the lead. And Jordan's not messing around, not only in his jersey color, but also in his throwing shirt. $75-33. Great start for Jordan. Missed this throw, Johnny Jackson.
So, Coach, we got 3 throws for everybody in this flight, and then 6 throws for the top 8 of the combined.
Yeah, we're getting 3 more throws for the top 8.
Okay.
70-49 for Johnny Jackson. That moves him into 4th place. We are going to see a lot of movement on this board. The 2 gentlemen from Minnesota have already thrown extremely far in the young NCAA season. We'll talk more about them later. In the ring is one of them, Angelos Montazourinis. We got 2 Greek throwers at the University of Minnesota. Coach Peter Miller is coaching them and doing an outstanding job, and they are off to just red-hot starts. It's a foul for Angelos, so we'll see more of him later. Tanner Berg in the ring. Tanner's PR is 76-31, and he is down. That's tough. I hope he's okay. Tough start. As he will look for better footing in his second throw. Sometimes it happens, and you just got to kind of brush it off and move on. Justin Stafford is in the ring next. Oh, just Tyler Williams. My apologies. Tyler Williams is next. good start from Tyler. Tyler's PR 76.55. Had a fantastic season last year.
That kid he's wearing, that's Tracksmith, I want to say.
Yeah,
which
I
is
think he's
kind
throwing
of
for Tracksmith. Great.
kind of a bougie running.
Yeah, but they've sponsored some throwers before. Yeah, he's
They have.
pointing to his Tracksmith.
Yeah. Rudy, right? I don't
yeah,
know if he's
yep.
still with them. Kara.
Yeah, yeah. It's
All right. Good job,
great that they're
Tracksmith.
supporting
Good
out
job.
there, supporting the throwers community.
We appreciate it. I think throwers and distance runners are kind of, compadres.
We're both passionate about our worlds.
Yeah, and a little bit crazy. There's Dane Miller, who has arrived for the weekend. Always nice to see him.
Tyler's throw 74.53.
Holy crap, nicely done.
So he moves into second. Now Justin Stafford is up. We saw Jake Stafford earlier in the day. And here's his older brother.
Justin third at the Olympic trials in 2024. But a heartbreaking third because he didn't have the ranking or the qualifying mark.
He is looking to do something different this year. Obviously, this is a bronze level continental or a bronze level world athletics meet. And so these guys are earning points towards their world ranking. And if you don't have the standard, you need to be in the top 32. And then obviously in the United States, you got to finish in the top 3 at the national championships or trials. And it's a great opportunity for these guys to move up in world ranking and earn world ranking points.
That's a big deal. And again, kudos to Don Milliken and Caleb Seal for giving people this opportunity. It's not easy to find meets where you can get world athletics points.
73.11 for Justin's opener.
Nicely done. His PB 77.07, but not a bad opener.
Moves into third place ahead of Cade McCall. This is the torturous part for Cade in Texas, who had really nice marks, 72.66 for Cade, 72.45 for Texas, but now they're watching these guys get after it in the second flight, and they're hoping to get some more throws, but we'll see. Costas is up.
Costas, fantastic thrower for the University of Minnesota, 77.91 this April for a PB for a season opener.
They are
Not
off
too
to
shabby.
a red-hot start.
It's the Greek thing. He and his teammates, both from Greece. We saw Stam throw quite well earlier.
Yeah, and you saw
Greece.
both these guys, Costas talking with Stam after each throw. There's
Yep.
Peter Miller, their coach at Minnesota.
Peter's got the Greek connection going, and he's working it quite well.
Foul for Costas. We will see more of him. Alex Young. Alex has made a lot of U.S. teams, Olympian, World Championship athlete, qualifier, and the best here in the competition by far.
Alex, one of those guys that led the kind of an American renaissance in the hammer. Him,
Yeah.
Rudy, Daniel.
They've been doing it at a really high level for a lot of years.
They have, and they have not been able to break through internationally like some of the American women have. They haven't gotten podium spots, but they've been in a lot of finals, and they've just raised the level in the United States substantially.
78 is his PR out past 78, I
I
believe.
got him 78.32 from
That sounds right.
2021.
That sounds right. So Alex's first round throw is 71.95. He represents Adidas.
He was U.S. national champion in 2017, and again, that hasn't been easy. To win the title in the U.S. has not been easy the last few years. Great guy. Has been training for a while with Coach Nick Farr from
North Carolina, yep.
Yeah.
Daniel Ha is up next.
Daniel looking kind of thin.
He looks good. He looks ready.
Is it just the color black that does kind of thin you out?
It could be the silhouette and beautiful sunlight here at Throws Tower.
Or it could be the haircut.
Or it looks he doesn't have his headband on. So often we see him throw with a headband
That's
on.
what it is. That's the key. If you're a little chubby, take your headband off and you'll look better.
Did you just call Daniel Ha formerly a little chubby, but no longer?
Unofficially.
Take it back, Dan. Take it back.
Daniel's PB 80 meters 18 from 2022, and again, like Alex, been in a lot of international championships. Big part of this American renaissance in the hammer.
Foul for Daniel Ha as we finish out round one.
We talked about that, over the years. I know you have as well with Rudy, with Daniel, with Alex, about how to take that step and get on a podium at an Olympics or Worlds. Those guys have traveled everywhere, competed everywhere, trying to get the experience necessary.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have been at it for a long time, competing at a really, really high level. And we talked a little bit about this earlier in the day, but how do you take that one more step higher so that when you get to that world championship meet, when you get to that the Olympic opportunity, you can find themselves in the thick of the medal hunt? That's such a tricky thing.
They just haven't been able to do it.
Isaiah Rogers. Isaiah was in the first flight. I think he got bumped down to flight 2, and that's why if there might be a slight discrepancy in the live
That's
results.
right,
So,
his name was there first.
so now we're going to go back to Jordan Geist, our leader currently, with a fantastic opening round, 75-33. Does Jordan have more in it as he works back towards a PR? He's moving really quick today. Doesn't like that one and
not
walks
like
out the
that.
front. So foul for Jordan.
What was it like to officiate at Jordan's wedding? Inquiring minds want to know.
So Jordan is married to Samantha Geist, Samantha Nenig, who was a former athlete of mine that I got to coach through her high school career before she went to Arizona State. Sam was a 2-time NCAA shot put champion, and in Jordan's final year of his NCAA career, he finally won 2 shot put champions, and Sam was holding that over Jordan. So the wedding couldn't go on until Jordan caught up to Sam, and they were on equal footing with their NCAA championship levels. Sam has since retired from throwing, and she's focusing on finishing up her physician's assistant degree at Northern Arizona as Jordan has moved into his professional throwing career. It was delightful to, I was honored that they asked me to officiate that wedding. 2 great kids, and I love it when the throwing world combines forces. They're a pretty dynamic duo.
Do you have dibs on coaching their future children?
Only if they move to Wisconsin.
Fair. After attending that Wisconsin Coaches Clinic and eating about 8,000 fried cheese curds this winter,
Yes.
I'm ready to move to Wisconsin, to be honest with you.
Who isn't?
Here's
The World
Angelos.
Invitational is brought to you by the city of Tulsa. Not known for cheese curds, but a great place nonetheless.
Another foul for Angelos Manzaranes. One of a pair of Greek freaks getting it done for Minnesota.
Yeah, you were talking to the Greek throwers from Minnesota about Giannis earlier.
Kostas and I have been talking about Giannis. Whenever I interview him over the years, I talk about Giannis because I love Giannis. I have a pair of Giannis shoes.
Oh, nice.
From when I play driveway basketball against my 10-year-old grandson, and I get destroyed
By your grandson.
by my grandson.
Do you let him win, or is that on merit alone?
Okay, now there's 2 ways to spin.
Tanner Berg enters the ring.
There's 2 ways to spin that. One is he is a really good athlete. He hustles and he makes shots. Those are 3 things you cannot say about me. I refrain from just swatting his
Tanner
shots.
likes that one. He had a foul in round 1, so this is going to be much better than a foul, but let's see how far that mark is.
So in fairness to me, I could probably hold him to less than 100 points every game. But in fairness to him, if they were really calling fouls, I probably would be fouled out after.
You foul out of a driveway basketball with your grandson? Take it easy on
I
the
grew up playing
youngster.
shot putter basketball and thrower basketball, and that's all about the fouls.
My son Finley, shout out to my son Finley, who's 9. Growing up in Wisconsin, it's hard not to be a huge Giannis fan. He also has a pair of Giannis, and
Of course, all the cool people do.
one of his favorite jerseys in his jersey collection is a Giannis Antetokounmpo jersey. The
Giannis
Greek
is a
freak.
stud, and he's I just love the way when he's interviewed how intelligent he is and thoughtful and.
He's very easy to cheer for because he's a good guy outside of the off the court as well. 73-85 for Tanner Berg. That's a fantastic throw. Moves him into 3rd. And Tyler Williams
He did not
walks
like
out of
that
the front
one,
of the ring
Coach.
on that one.
Tyler's PB 76-55 from 2024. He is 32 years young.
He still has his throw 74-53 in round 1. Justin Stanford is up, building off his 73-11 in round 1 here.
According to Coach Denard from UCLA, all the Staffords are late bloomers. So Justin here did not necessarily scare anybody in college, but he's bloomed into a great hammer thrower.
Fantastic hammer thrower.
And his little brother, quite possibly, Like following those footsteps. Similar build. He's like the skinny version of
Yeah.
Justin, the skinnier version of Justin.
Justin liked that one. I don't know if we saw that on screen, but we're going to wait for a measurement. But
He was
I
sitting
think
at
Justin liked that one, and the crowd
73.11.
liked it as well.
Okay. His PB again, 77.07. I believe he did that at the Olympic trials, right?
Yeah,
dropped some bombs at the
yeah,
Olympic
he threw
trials.
really far.
But couldn't quite make it on the team without enough points and without getting that 78-meter auto qualifier. And that's something I throw in people's faces when they denigrate Throwtown, because those qualifying standards are so high.
73.49, a small improvement for Justin, but he's building. And we talked about this earlier with Rachel. You know, she took a couple 72-meter throws before a big throw came out, and so sometimes you got to stack those throws on top of each other.
Here's Costas. So that hammer, men's hammer qualifier, is 78 meters, I want to say.
I believe that's true.
So you either got to get that or get a whole bunch of points.
Cost us with a foul in round one, so whatever this measurement is going to be much better than that. See if he can get into the final. Eighth place currently is Johnny Jackson at 70.84.
But with those, with those qualifiers that high, I don't think you can blame discus throwers for coming here looking for some wins.
Well, I mean, we talked about it yesterday when we watched Joe throw. Last year he took a lot of throws here at Throwtown Ramona and got his qualifying mark, and then the big question is, can you put it together at the trials? And he did, but if he didn't have the qualifier, he wouldn't have made it to the Olympics. Costas Zoltas with a big round two throw, 74.62. He moves into second place.
Nicely done.
So that currently makes Alex Young our eighth place thrower at 71.95, and he is next in the ring.
Alex, an Olympian in 2021 for Tokyo. And it just can change your life to have that qualifier. Mika Sosna last year got it here. That got him on the team for the European Championships, where he had great experience there, made the final. Got him on the team for the Olympics. Did not make the final, but had an amazing experience. And so if assuming he stays healthy, makes it to LA, he's got all that experience in the bank because he got that qualifier. And he did the same thing again yesterday with
Well,
that
and I think for
70
some of these athletes, seeing the shot go far, seeing the discus go far, can be such a huge piece of the mental part of this sport, which is I've seen it go far, now I want to go get more. It validates the hard work, but then you do eventually have to go do it for the discus in a stadium, which is harder than out here. But once you're not pressing for a world qualifying or an Olympic qualifying mark, I think
Yeah.
it maybe allows people to relax
Makes a big
and then
difference.
be the throwers that they're capable of being rather than chasing a mark, and they might throw farther anyway.
Yeah. And good luck getting in the stadium if you don't have the qualifying mark, right?
Yeah, we were just talking with a couple throwers earlier. If you haven't made a team, it's hard to get invited to a Diamond League meet. And, making a team's hard in and of itself. So if you can't make it to a Diamond League meet, it's hard to make money doing this.
And
Isaiah Rogers is next up in the ring.
So the
He's working
idea-
on a foul and looking for a mark. Daniel Haw has 2 fouls, so he needs a mark in round 3 to continue his day. And again, currently the 8th place mark is Alex Young at 71.95.
Isaiah set his PB here in Ramona last year, 73-73.
Another foul for Isaiah. So we've got Daniel and Isaiah Rogers both needing a throw, as well as Angelos needing a throw, a mark to find a way to make it into the final.
Not a comfortable spot to be in. But as far as chasing wins, you think about there was no better big meat thrower than Jürgen Schultz. And where did Jürgen set his world record?
Not in the stadium.
New Brandenburg and the throwing field,
That's
and
right.
Brandenburg gets great wins.
Jordan Geis, huge throw in round 1. He's still our leader at 75.33. And here's his 3rd round throw. He likes that one better than his round 2 he walked out of the ring on. I don't know that it's better than his 75.33.
Jordan's PB's hammer, 76-30, shot 22-25. That's a pretty impressive combination. My
I'm
goodness.
sure from the pictures you're seeing right now, Jordan is an incredibly strong guy, and he looks like it. But I think what's most impressive is power. It's not just strength, but it's his speed. And you see that in the hammer circle. Certainly, hammer is his second event. You will see his speed and power in the shot put circle if you tune in to the Throws University live stream for the men's shot put tomorrow at noon.
Do you think Jordan's improvement in the shot in the last couple of years was a result of him being able to control that speed finally?
Yeah, I've talked to Jordan a lot about, him working out the kinks in the back of the ring. 73-39 for Jordan, which is a great backup to his opening round throw. Johnny Jackson. Yeah, so much of speed is when to use it and how to control it and how to hit positions through that speed, how to maintain the rhythm of the throw as you ramp up that speed. And sometimes if you start too fast, it doesn't lead to good things. And sometimes you catch it just right and everything works out great.
Right,
But oftentimes speed kills throws.
I'd have to say my experience as a coach, the kids with the most powerful engines, also they have the best days and the worst days.
It's risk reward, right? You might create more velocity, but you also might fly out of the front, miss all your positions. Okay, so Johnny Jackson finishes his day at 70-84, and he's not going to make the final, but what a consistent day for him. 70-49, 70-84,
Points for
and
consistency.
70-79. His PR was only 71-72. That's a great set of three throws. Too bad he's not going to get three more, but congratulations to Johnny. That's great.
Looks like Angelos caught one.
Yeah, he needed it.
How about
Two fouls for Angelos in round 1 and 2, and I think the pressure is off. I think that's going to be far enough to get him in the final, which might bump someone. So Alex Young is on the hot seat in 8th place right now, but he has another throw in his back pocket, so we'll see.
the calves on this young man? No shame in losing to him. You lose to a guy with calves like that, you just tip your hat.
It's a thing of beauty.
What did he get on that one?
76-39. He goes from no mark to first place.
So that 77-43 opener a couple weeks ago was no fluke, huh?
Manzurnius, 76-39. That's not too far from his PB, 77-43.
Outstanding.
Tanner Berg in the ring. He is in 5th right now, 73-85. Yelling at that thing to go farther. He likes it. We're seeing movement here in round 3, my friends. Other people trying to get in on the action here.
Tanner Berg was a Northern State University Wolf.
Division 2?
Division II, looks like.
I love it when I
Had a
see
great
Division
career
2
there.
athletes continue to perform. 76-06. Tanner Berg moves into
Outstanding.
2nd place. That is just off his PB of 76-31. What a great throw for Tanner. So that bumps Jordan Geist down into 3rd. And there are people moving in round 3 here. Tyler Williams is up next. Tanner took a tumble in round 1, and he's on top of his game now. So it goes to show you can wipe out in round 1 and still come back and throw big. Nice job, Tanner.
Kept his composure.
No doubt. Foul for Tyler Williams, but I think he is safely in the final at 5th place, 74-53.
Tyler, an assistant coach at Widener.
Do you know where Widener is? I don't know where
I
Widener
do
is.
not know.
Someone tell us in the comments.
There are a lot of colleges in this country, and every once in a while you hear the name of one, you're like, what?
Justin Stafford is next.
Justin lives in Manhattan, Kansas now, training with Coach Watson there.
All right. He's at 73-49 in 6th right now. He is not guaranteed 3 throws yet because we've got some heavy hitters who have throws left in their back pocket. So can he move up with this throw? Secure that spot a little deeper. He can. 74-54, his best throw of the day. He moves from 6th to 5th. So currently, Texas Tanner from Flight 1 is on the hot seat in 8th place. We've got throws coming up from Alex Young. Daniel Ha is still looking for his first mark, as well as Isaiah Rogers. So let's see what happens here.
Costas looking to improve on 74-62.
It's a foul.
Oh, he fouled it, yeah.
So he's in 4th. He's going to get 3 more throws anyway. So Alex Young and Daniel Ha looking to improve. Alex is just outside the finals. He's 9th. He's been in this position before, and if he can put a good throw together, he's known he's done it in the past. Looking for a mark that'll get him into the final.
He has an amazing sense of style. He's almost in your league. There we go.
Yeah, I think he's confident with that throw.
Alex, very easy to root for. Just a really, really sweet guy.
Yeah, I had him on the podcast. I was so impressed with him in every way.
He was 2022 and 2017 weight champ, United States weight champ.
We were talking to Rachel Richardson about that earlier,
Yeah.
about how the weight complements her hammer throwing, where I think for some other throwers it takes away and just isn't something that, especially young weight throwers, can handle the translation into hammer.
It'd be interesting to see with this year's NCAA weight champ on the men's side, the young man from Wyoming.
Oh, yeah.
I'm blanking out now. We'll think
The
of it. in a minute.
two-turn champion of the world.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if that success translates to the hammer. He's been an okay hammer thrower, but not elite. Now he's an elite weight thrower. Daniel does not look happy.
So Alex Young is not going to make this final. His last throw was 70-75. And Daniel Ha is going to need a throw of at least 72-45 to earn 3 more. Otherwise, Texas Tanner and Cade McCall, we were talking about holding on for dear life to their spots from Flight 1, are going to get a chance to throw in this final possibly.
Did Daniel sneak in?
He did not. 70-56 leaves Daniel in 11th place.
Wow, so short day for him, short day for Alex, huh?
They will be back and they will live to fight another day. They've been through it before. Here's Isaiah Rogers also looking for a mark after 2 fouls.
Isaiah,
Don't know that that's far enough to get him in.
he's a Kennesaw State graduate. Kind of
Yeah.
a hammer incubator there.
Sure is. Incredible throwers coming out of that group. 73-73 PR. Another foul for Isaiah, and his day is done as
He's
well.
out.
So here's what I've got, my friends. If you've been watching, Angelos, Minnesota, 76-39 with a 3rd round throw to take the lead. Tanner Berg, 76-06 in 2nd. Jordan Geis, 75-33. That was his 1st round throw. 3rd place, Costas Zaltos, 74-62. Justin Stafford, 74-54. Tyler Williams, 74-53. Cade McCall from Flight 1, 72-66. And Texas Tanner, also from Flight 1, 72-45. These are going to be the finalists. They will reorder, and we will get rolling again. Should we take a minute to talk about the sponsors?
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Throwtown Ramona World Invitational is brought to you by Thrower X and Throws Pro. Throws Pro equipment you need to throw far, and Thrower X online resources for throwers and coaches who want to get better. Thanks to Thrower X and Throws Pro for sponsoring the 2025 World Invitational here at Milliken Field, Throwtown Ramona. Great show put on by Don Milliken and Caleb Seal, the men behind this place and this meet. And thank you to the sponsors of this meet, along with Thrower X and Throws Pro, Roadie Sport, wrist straps, shot put gloves, hammer gloves. Go check out all the great products that Roadie Sport has. Also, Fiber Sport. Bruce Caldwell is here. Chatted with him earlier. The great discs that Bruce is manufacturing, Fiber Sport. Go check out their website. And also visit Tulsa.
Visit Tulsa.
And we are visiting Tulsa as we speak, and so far they've been great hosts. So thank you, Tulsa.
It's a great place to throw far, apparently. and eat some barbecue. You know, speaking of cradles of hammer throwing, I was looking at Angelos' statistics. Last year, he was sixth in Greece in the hammer in the national championships with 72.54. That's a pretty small country.
Yeah.
So something's going on there. It's interesting how some countries, you know, just get really good at certain things. Finland's always been good at the jav.
I think so oftentimes in those smaller countries, if you have a great coach that can create an atmosphere where young kids gravitate towards it, you've got a system that those kids who develop a passion for it and then get into a training system, and then a little bit of success sometimes breeds lots of success. I think about specifically the opposite of that, which is India, one of the biggest countries, populations in the world. Who would think javelin would be something in a cricket-playing country like India, and all of a sudden Neeraj Chopra wins an Olympic gold medal, and 4 years later you've got multiple countrymen in performing at incredibly high levels. As javelin has taken the minds over of young kids. They're all chasing, wanting to be their hero, Neeraj Chopra.
It's amazing. And doesn't he have an ungodly amount of followers on social media?
Yeah.
Something insane.
He's the most popular dude in track and field, but possibly.
And such an interesting guy. Did you get to talk to him at the Diamond League final a couple years ago? When we were
I you know what? I was with you when you interviewed him.
Okay. He's just a really gentle, easygoing, almost like a nerdy vibe. And he's a rock star.
He is a rock star in that
He
country.
probably
there's
can't
no
go
doubt
anywhere.
about
It's probably like Michael Jordan. I bet he can't go anywhere in India without getting mobbed and asked for autographs. And
it. Kudos to him.
yeah.
Kudos to him.
Yeah. Population of Greece, 9,900,000.
So as we reorder this final, let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. Those of you
that's-
who are watching intently with this weekend's proceedings, we had an incredible day of discus throwing yesterday, and tomorrow we're going to get some more. But tomorrow at 10 a.m., I said 12 before, but 10 a.m. the men's shot put will start off the day on April 12th here at Throwtown Ramona.
So we got to get up early.
We'll be here early.
We'll
Dan
be
and
here.
I will be here with the live stream.
We'll make
thanks
that
to Throws
sacrifice.
University. Absolutely. And then we are going to have 3 groups of women's discus throwers starting at noon, and you are not going to want to miss the show that's going to be put on tomorrow on the women's discus. And then we're back for more action on Sunday. We'll start the day at 10 a.m. with the women's shot put, followed by 3 groups of men's discus throwers. And if Saturday or Sunday is anything like the afternoon wins and performances we saw, specifically in the men's competition, although there were some great women's performances, we're going to see a show this weekend. Dan, what are you looking forward to most?
Well, I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it. I'm going to be honest. The battle between Mikolas and Maddie Denny. I mean, I don't mean to denigrate anyone else. There's going to be some fantastic performances all over the place, but you don't get to see that very often.
Yeah, so Maddie Denny, 7 throws over 70 meters and the second farthest throw in world history, 74.25 yesterday in the men's competition. Now, Mikolas was not here yesterday. He is arriving today or tomorrow, I think,
Tomorrow night.
to compete Sunday. So Mikolas was not in that competition yesterday. So it kind of sets up this wonderful battle between these two titans. Maddie Denny slowly etching his name in one of the best performers I think we've ever seen in the throwing events. And we have some outstanding performers, but if you look going back to the 2021 Olympics, where he PR'd and kind of made a name for himself, he came in 4th, the toughest position to be at Olympics. But now here we are 4 years later. He's won Diamond League championship. He is a medalist at the Olympics last year. He's PB'd at both Olympics. He PB'd at a World Championships.
I think the only major that he did not PB at was in Eugene in 2022. He was a little bit off.
And
but
then he
other than
came
that-
back anyway, and he won the Diamond League
Yep.
a few months later.
Yep, you just put him in a big meet, and you're going to get a personal best. And Sunday, I think he's going to feel like a big meet.
Yeah.
Mikolas is coming here to defend his world title. It's just like Frazier and Ali back in the day. Mikolas has come to defend his title. Maddie's ready to take that title.
I talked to some other discus throwers watching Maddie, and these are guys who know what they're talking. Frederick Dakers, other guys, and obviously to throw it in the wind and to fly it in the wind that we get here at Throwtown Ramona is a skill in of itself. But what Frederick said was, he's in 70 meter in a stadium shape, so of course he's going to throw 74 or 75 meters. The question is, what is Mikolos Alekna ready to do in this 2025 season? We've already seen him go 70 meters at a college meet early in the season, and now we're going to see both of them in the ring on Sunday afternoon here at Throwtown Ramona, the World Invitational presented by Thrower X and Throws Pro. We can't wait to watch.
And, Frederick was talking about that, how, discus is probably, maybe any sport is at its most popular when you have rivalries. Again, I'm dating myself, but you go back to, Frazier and Ali. And, I remember arguing with people on the playground when Frazier and Ali were getting ready for a bout. And today, you'd be hard-pressed to name a championship boxer, right?
Yeah.
So those rivalries really matter. And, and again, Mikolas is super nice guy, super reserved. So he's not necessarily someone who's going to show a lot of emotion. But Maddie will. And I think he's going to bring out the best in Mikolas.
I think so too. Maddie was talking about, these guys get together after these meets and hang out. They go out and celebrate end of seasons together, and there's a camaraderie. But I also think there's a very healthy competition. Both of those guys want to go and throw far. And you guys, here we go. I think we are ready to start this final.
Tanner going to be the first thrower?
I believe that's true.
Population of the United States, 340 million, by the way. So good job, Greece. Producing all those fantastic hammer throwers. Oh, no. Foul for Tanner in his first throw. I think it might be the cheese. Their cheese is sensational. The olives, sensational. Where the heck did I put the live result? There they are. You picture Tanner flying fighter jets someday, or what's he going to do?
It's very possible.
He's going to fill up that cockpit. It's going to be a tight squeeze in there. What a great guy, though. Really bright. Makes you feel good to have him at one of the service academies.
No doubt.
All right, so then Cage should be coming up next, right?
Our live results are just not pulling up currently, but we're going to get there.
It was interesting speaking with Rachel earlier. She mentioned that she really liked looking at video between each throw in competition. She probably feels a throw a certain way, and then she uses the video to confirm her suspicions, right? So if she thinks she's, I don't know hammer terminology very well, but if she thinks she's goofing up one phase, maybe, she looks at the video and says, oh yeah, okay, I was right. Whereas Mika yesterday chose not to look at video between throws.
And he said something that he had done in the past, but you asked him about that, and he said, what, about feel, right?
Yep, he's all about the feel. It's kind of interesting, isn't it?
I think maybe it depends on if you're looking for something very specific. Hey, I'm working on this one cue. Did that happen? How well did it happen? And other times it's about rhythm, which you can't sometimes see, and especially if you're going frame by frame through video, you don't get a sense of the rhythm of the throw.
Yeah.
So that's usually something you have to feel.
And ideally you want to stay away from making your brain switch over to the rational mind mode, right? You want to keep that voice quiet so you can feel and find your flow state.
Yeah. I think we got a couple of guys from Flight 1 taking a couple of walkthroughs here. So I thought we were getting started, but I think those guys were just getting reoriented in the ring again.
If you read books about sports psychology, they talk about the key is to quiet your rational mind, right? So you would think that maybe looking at a video and thinking about your throw would activate that rational mind, right? Like, oh, I've got to do this with my left foot or whatever, and you'd want to avoid that. I know over the years, it's impossible not to give advice during competitions. It's almost impossible, right? Because you see something, and you're like, oh, if I just tell the athlete this, they're going to throw a bomb. But I almost always regret it. Because you tell them the perfect thing that's going to unleash their, their power.
From a coaching standpoint, usually you get a sense of where your athletes are at and whether they can handle a piece of input or not. I know there's a lot of coaches, especially at this level, they don't need a lot of feedback from a coach in between throws. These are pros.
Yeah.
But some of these college athletes, especially in the hammer, they're still learning this event,
Right.
a lot of them early in their hammer career. And so feedback, looking at a video can be instrumental in improving the next round. But that is, athlete by athlete and coach by coach sometimes. Okay, I think we're going to get started here.
Yeah, this one counts, I want to say. Let's see. Oh!
If it counts, it's not going to count for much.
Yeah, Texas began that.
Yeah, so fourth round foul for Texas Tanner as we start this finals of the World Athletics World Invitational presented by Thrower X and Throws Pro.
Cade McCall up next. Best say 72.66.
Yeah, we're live. So Cade McCall, 72.66 that he threw back in his first round in Flight 1, and he's made it into the final here. We'll find out what that mark is. Tyler Williams is next in the circle.
So I read a book a few years ago about sports psychology called Choke. What a charming title.
That's tough.
Yes. But
Hopefully it was about how not to choke.
that's
not
exactly
how to
what
choke.
it was about, and it was about calming down your rational mind, right? And I remember about the time I read it, I really liked it. I thought it made perfect sense. About the time I read it, I went and covered NCAA championships, and I watched every thrower come to their coach, come to the rail, and I don't know if they all looked at video or whatever, but they had a conversation with their coach. And I was thinking, that goes against what's in the book, but maybe as humans, we need that comfort of just being close to your
Sure.
coach and hearing their voice. Or
71.01 for Cade in round 4, and again he was in Flight 1, so it's nice to see him right back near his mark from the previous rounds as he jumps into the final here. Tyler Williams with his fourth round throw. His mark is at 74.53. So Cade and Texas out of the first flight. Excited to see them get 3 more throws, but they've got a lot of moving and shaking to do if they're going to pass the top 6, all over 74.50.
I asked Dave Dumble about that. He was coaching at Arizona State then, and he was coaching at the meet. And I saw him, talking to his athletes at the rail. And he said what he tries to do, he had studied, some sports psychology himself. And he said what he tries to do is when an athlete comes to the rail, you say something positive, you give them a bit of concrete advice, and then you close with something else positive.
I love it.
It's like a
Stroke,
positivity
stroke,
sandwich.
sting, stroke.
Yeah. So,
73.38 for Tyler Williams. Dave Dumble, one of the great NCAA coaches
Oh, my.
at Arizona State, just national champion after national champion. Unbelievable career. Now, Dave Dumble Athletics is focused on building cages. He is working in conjunction with Lance Steele and making Lance Steele cages and installing them at venues around the country and around the world.
So did he buy out Lance Steele, or is he partners with them, or?
So Lance Steele is looking to retire, and so slowly but surely Dave Dumble's taking that business over, yeah. So if you need a Lance Steele hammer cage, go to Dumble Athletics and check it out.
I'm glad you brought up Lance Steele, because I have another story in that sports psychology vein that involves him. And I heard a recording one time of an interview that he did that asked him about his experience at the 96 Olympics.
Yes.
Is that right, Justin? 68.54?
68.54, yeah.
Okay.
You won't be happy with that one.
So, 96 Olympics, Lance was one of the favorites. He was having a great year. Costas likes the look of that.
Oh,
Holy
that's a big
cow.
one.
That might be a Giannis toss. So, but in the prelim, he did badly. I don't remember the exact numbers. You can look them up. And he thought he was out.
Yeah,
He thought he was ninth.
he thought he didn't make the final.
Yep. So he packed it up. And he was leaving, and then it turned out, well, I think there was a tie, right?
Yeah.
And so they took the 8th and 9th placers, thank goodness.
Ties at 8th place, make it into finals.
Yep.
75-31 for Costas.
Nicely done, Costas. Giannis would approve.
So his 74-62 in round 2 passes that up. With 75-31, he's still in 4th behind Jordan Geist,
So in
who
the,
is next in the ring.
in the story, Lance says he finds out he's going to get 3 more throws, but he's an absolute mess emotionally.
Yeah.
You can imagine,
Yeah.
right? You go in thinking, I'm going to be gunning for the gold, and then, for at least a little while, you think you're out. You blew your chance. And he said his wife looked at him and said, hey, you know what? You're a great thrower. And he went back in, took his final 3 throws, and got 2nd place. And I think he wasn't like a couple centimeters short of gold.
Yes, yeah, silver.
So sometimes maybe it's something like that, just a simple attaboy or something, Obviously his wife wasn't giving him technique advice. He just needed to reset and remind himself of that. I am a great thrower. Got in and he proved it.
Lance Steele is one of my guests on the Throw Big Throw Far podcast. I think in season 1 or season 2, I can't remember, 2018-19, something like that. And he gave me one of the best descriptions of a single throw, his American record that Rudy Winkler just surpassed a few years ago, but stood for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
If you want to hear a great description of a singular throw, Lance Steele talking about his American record in the hammer throw is a really good story.
He is an interesting man, isn't he?
So Jordan Geist is really locked in 73-86. Not an improvement, but he's stacking up good throws. 75-33 in round 1 is still his best throw. In 3rd place, Tanner Berg, 76-06 is 2nd and is going to the ring. I missed his throw. I might have missed
Yeah,
his
he just
throw.
chucked it, but they didn't put the measurement up yet.
I apologize. I missed that throw.
Good job, Tanner Berg, going from D2 to world-class hammer thrower.
No doubt. Throwing for a Relia Bank. I hope he's getting some incentive to throw. Maybe he's getting a good interest rate.
Maybe just throwing a heavy ball far is incentive enough for him. He may be a simple man with simple tastes.
For Tanner to pass Angelos, he's going to need something better than 76-39.
And maybe bigger
These
calf.
two guys both got locked in round 3 with their best throws of the day as we wait for the measurement system to cooperate. A big shout out to all the officials working the meet today. I don't know the gentleman's name who was pulling the discus cart as he was shagging discs, but he put his steps in yesterday, I'll tell you.
Oh my gosh, those guys are tireless, aren't they?
Yeah, so Kara Winger, as always, thank you so much for keeping things organized with the officiating crew. But everyone in the officiating crew, thanks for working this long weekend and making these throws possible. Tanner Berg, not an improvement, 71-93, and Angelos fouls his 4th round throw. So we're going to go back down to Texas Tanner as we enter round 5.
Angelos, by the way, was Big Ten champion last year as a freshman. And I want to say, yeah, he's set the meet record, 75-15. I don't think that's going to survive another year, that meet record. But how about that for a freshman?
Yeah, incredible. And Minnesota, interesting, and Peter Miller and I have talked often, but as the NCAA has really put pressure and changed a lot of things that are happening from the financial perspective of athletics, Minnesota went through some real troubles and was looking at getting rid of men's track completely. They reinstated men's track, but they don't compete an indoor schedule.
That's right.
So these guys don't get to throw the weight or the indoor shot, and then they wait their turn for hammer season, and they're taking advantage of it, that's for sure.
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure, Angelos needs to worry about a flow state. When you got calves like that,
Can you flow with large calves? I can.
I think that you have no choice but to flow. You got calves like that, you just take a deep breath, you grip it and rip it. You don't have to read sports psychology. You just throw that heavy thing far. Eat some goat cheese.
Well, yesterday, Dan and I were here all the way to the end of the women's discus competition, which ended in the dark. We
It was a long day.
had pickup trucks with headlights on, 69-11 for Texas Tanner, so no improvement there. Cade McCall is next in the ring. And so what time maybe we finished around 9. I think we got back to our hotel around 9:30. So I think about like Caleb Seal, who's moving, setting up the javelin for today, taking down one of the discus cages from yesterday. So I can't imagine what time Caleb Seal and his crew got to bed. But today, a much shorter day with a few less events, and then tomorrow and Sunday, just shot put and discus. And so we're going to be done much earlier today, and maybe all these officials can get some well-deserved rest, and Caleb and his crew, and then we can really enjoy the show tomorrow and Sunday. But these hammer guys aren't done yet, so let's see what we can do here as we move into round 5.
67.94, not an improvement for Cade.
Tyler Williams is next.
Well, Tyler's a garage strength guy. I see. Garage strength and
Foul for Tyler Williams.
tracksmith. That's a powerful combination.
It is.
He's got the garage going. He's got the.
I wonder if Dane's writing his weight program and
I would imagine.
complimentary.
I would imagine.
Justin Stafford will be next in the circle.
Justin, again, looking to continue that family tradition of throwing fine things, of being a late bloomer and throwing things far.
Right? Yeah. Stafford is in the circle now. $74.54 is his best mark. Looking to improve. He's hollering at it a little bit. And gets a clap from the crowd, so see if he improved on 74.54. Cost is at 75.31 in fourth place, just ahead of Justin. $73.72, no improvement for Justin. Costas Zoltas is next.
Costas with a pretty nice day. 74.62 round 2, 75.31 round 4. Okay.
We're pretty sure that's a foul.
The minute I express a little bit of optimism, bam.
So Jordan Geist is up next. He is in third at 75.33. We're going to see Jordan in the shot put tomorrow. Jordan, one of the best shot put throwers in the entire world, with a throw well past 22 meters last year. Daniel McCarthy's going to throw. MacArthur's going to throw. Isaiah Schaefer, Kyle Atkinson. Texas Tanner will be back competing tomorrow. Cordell Nokaji. I don't know Cordell's last name. I'm going to have to learn that before tomorrow.
We'll do some detecting.
Sam Capos, Michael Pinckney, and we'll see Derek Smith on a third day of competition for days.
Outstanding. Jordan Geist in a bear wrestling match. Who you taking? I'm talking full-grown bear.
This is like Ditka. I'll take Jordan.
Jordan Geist.
Jordan with one hand.
Jordan Geist versus a crocodile. Full grown, 15 feet.
I don't think a crocodile. I think a bear has more of a chance than a crocodile. I think Jordan just submit full submission.
Crocodile just wets himself and
submission.
slinks away. Doesn't even try, probably. Tanner Berg looking very confident today. Oh, not so much on that one. I'm pretty sure it's not the music that they play here that gets the throwers going.
I'm going to entice you with tomorrow's women's discus. A little quick preview.
Hope you're all sitting down,
Well,
because this is going to be enticing.
Dan keeps us on track with what's going on in the hammer.
I will. I'll do it. Angelos is up.
Alexandra Emelianov, Daisy Osaki, Alita Van Dalen, who we saw perform incredibly well in the dark and no wind, Valerie Allman, world ranked number 1, 2-time gold medalist, Melina Robert Machon, 7-time Olympian. That's not a voice typo.
C'est vrai.
Veronica Fraley, Olympian.
Raymond.
Lagi Tasago, world champion. And Yaimi Perez, who threw 73 meters last year. Unbelievable what we're going to get to see tomorrow. Along with Erica Beistel, who just went 66 meters, Division II Grand Valley State. Jaden Ulrich, Cece will be back throwing more. She had some nice throws the other night. Gabby Jacobs had some nice throws, even in the cold last night. Christy Law, Lisa Bree Patterson. We're going to see some great throws tomorrow in the women's discus, so we're hoping that everybody watches. The men's shot at 10 a.m., women's discus at noon tomorrow on the Garage Strength Throws University live stream on YouTube.
Similar. They're like brothers.
They are like brothers.
So while we were away, Angelos threw what looked like a bomb out of bounds, out of the sector to the left.
Round 6?
Round 6. Tanner started off round 6. How about Tanner versus a bear? And he doesn't have his fighter jet. Talking mano-a-mano.
He would do well.
I think he'd do fine, wouldn't he?
Well, I think Jordan Geist might have one leg up on him, but I'm not putting it past him to win as well.
No. Fun fact, back in Shakespeare's day in London, bear baiting or watching bears fight other animals, like including dogs or whatever, was super popular. Right near Shakespeare's theater, right up the street, was a bear baiting arena.
This was just like street fun?
Yeah, so in Shakespeare's day, you could take a ferry ride across the Thames. They had these like boat taxis, and you could choose either see the greatest literature, the greatest theater ever, which I guess you don't really know at the time it's going to be the greatest ever.
Perspective, right?
Yeah, or go watch a bear fight a bull or something like that. How's
That's
that
crazy.
for entertainment?
Crazy. Okay, we got a little delay in the measuring system here. Apologize for that. $73.11, Texas Tanner with his best throw of the day and just off his PB of 73.43. What a great day for him.
Outstanding.
Outstanding is right.
Will he be back in the shot tomorrow?
Yes, he will.
All righty.
Congrats, Texas.
He's getting his
His
money.
coach Kyle Lilly does a great job there at Air Force.
Doing a great job with that young man, that's for sure.
Cade McCall with his last throw. He's at 72.66.
Are mullets still in style or no?
I think that's called an alpaca.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's a modified mullet.
An alpaca.
Now, since I'm bald, I don't take my word for it, but that's what the kids are talking about these days.
I will take your word for it. That sounds amazing. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on an alpaca.
Looks inefficient for hot weather.
Yes, he's feeling regret right now. He's feeling alpaca regret.
Tyler Williams just couldn't connect today. I don't think he's satisfied with that throw either. I think he walked out of the circle. That's a foul. He's going to finish the day at 74.53 in 6th place.
It was nice of them to measure that 49.15 fifth round.
Yeah, I don't think he needed that.
Oh my gosh.
Justin is asking for a little support from the crowd, and we got some claps going here. Trying to build on his 74.43 54.53 mark from earlier. Sorry, 74.54.
Oh, he just broke the internet
Yeah, just briefly.
with that flex. They make him tall in that family. Tall and really nice. He and his
Nice
brother.
guys, no doubt
Good
about it.
dudes.
73.12, not an improvement for Justin.
I'm gonna say that's not a bad day though. 1, 2, 3.
We get in round
4.
6, a lot of athletes asking for a clap here. Costas Altos,
5 out of 6, 73 or better for Justin. That's pretty good crap level.
consistent is good.
Costas also a good day. 75-31. Coach Peter Miller working hard today.
Yeah, earning his paycheck.
Oh my.
77-12. Costas moves into the lead. That's just off his PB of
Oh.
77.91 from earlier this season.
2 consecutive meets. 2 for 2. 77 meters this year.
The Greek men are on top of the list right now. From
Fantastic.
Minnesota, Costas and Angelos. And Angelos still has one throw left, so he'll still have a say in this.
Wow. Yeah, we'll see if that inspires Angelos.
Jordan Geist, his final throw. All right. Good day for Jordan, 75.33 in round 1. His personal best is out 76 meters and 76.30. And he is not going to complain about 75.33 today. He's out past 21 meters already this outdoor season. The shot. 74.09, his second best throw of the day. So a nice series from Jordan. 75.33, 73.39, 73.86, 72.07, and 74.09. He'll take
Gotta
that.
be happy with that, yeah.
Absolutely. Tanner Berg with his final throw. And that's going to be a foul for Tanner. He will finish in third place at 76.06. And that brings us to our last competitor and our last man who could knock Costas, who just moved into first off the top of the pedestal, his teammate
Be a
and
1-2
countryman
1-2 Minnesota, Greek Minnesota finish.
Angelos at 76.39 trails his countryman at 77.12. Our last throw of the World Invitational Men's Hammer.
I wonder how you recruit guys from Greece to Minnesota.
You know, it's a different world now in terms of I'm not sure what happened there. We missed it, but we're hoping Costas is okay.
So a foul
Yep.
for Angelos.
But he's alive and he's smiling. He's going to shake that off. So Angelos, Angelos with his one mark today is 76.39. Is finishes in second. So Costas Zaltos is our Throwtown Ramona World Invitational Hammer Champion, followed by Angelos. I'm gonna try.
What's the plural of Greek freak? Is it Greek freaks or Greeks freak?
I believe it'd be Greek freaks.
Okay. That's what we got on our hands right here. That's
It
what we
made
have on our
Giannis
hands.
proud today.
Yes.
All right, so Angelos Montezorinis is second, Tanner Berg third at 76.06. Jordan Geist 75.33. We will see more from Jordan Geist tomorrow. Justin Stafford 74.54. Tyler Williams 74.53. Texas Tanner 73.11. And Cade McCall 72.66. A great hammer comp.
Outstanding, Coach. And big things to come tomorrow. If you're anywhere near Tulsa, get your butt over here.
We want to say thank you to all the officials that are working hard out there as we close out day 2 here at the World Invitational. A special thanks to Throws Pro and Thrower X, our headline sponsor of the World Invitational, Roadie Sport, Visit Tulsa, and Fiber Sport. Thank you for sponsoring the World Invitational here. And as we always have said, thanks to Caleb Seal and Don Milliken for creating this great opportunity for throwers to come and see if they can throw far.
And for this amazing crew, thanks to this amazing crew, Domingo, Will, Aiden, Sheldon, Andrew Saylor, Jason Kuhn. And you, my partner and friend.
Dan McQuaid, it's been an absolute pleasure. You ready for some more action tomorrow?
Yes, I am. I am ready for more action tomorrow. It's a magic place, Coach.
It is. We've seen fantastic performances all the way around.
That was a good day.